Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, May the 11th, and welcome back to the conversation. Hope everybody's doing well and are coming on, getting ready to enjoy some time together and some leadership conversation. It's nothing better than starting the day with a group of people that care about influencing their environment for the better for everyone, right? What a great principle leadership is. So welcome. Let me hear from you. Who's out there this morning as I get another sip of coffee? Everybody doing well, I hope. Let's celebrate each other. Come on, tell me where you're coming from, what you're excited about today. Let's talk about what you're excited about today. Tell me what, rather than where you're coming from, let's talk about what you're excited about today. Good morning, Carolyn. Good to see you. I know what you're excited about, Carolyn. Selling something today, right? Hey there, Robin Langton. How are you? Rebecca, good morning. Robin Langton, what are you excited about this morning? Tell me what you're excited about this morning. While everybody's coming on, let's get some of the housekeeping out of the way. Lori, doing great. Good. Hey, Jessica, good seeing you. Hello, the other Carolyn. Good seeing you back this morning. But while everybody's coming on, let me remind you of a couple of housekeeping things. We've got our session, our roll-up session around leadership through the Capstone at our annual meeting for the Florida Press Association in Ponte Vedra, August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. I think we're doing our thing on the 3rd. But remember, to apply for that class, go on to our Continuing the Conversation LinkedIn page and submit your video. You should be, from an old broadcaster, you should be in the green room now. Good morning, Bill. Good seeing you. You should be in the green room now, strategizing, getting ready, getting your makeup on, getting ready to make that impactful video. And we're excited to see those videos coming in. So, Robin, what are you excited about? Excited about our Big Top Entrepreneur Awards luncheon tomorrow for Business Observer. You should be excited. That sounds exciting. Top Entrepreneur Award. That does sound good. Hey, Dave, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Al. Excited about upcoming conference. All right. For CODA CODA's involvement. All right. Great. Good to see you, Al. That's exciting. Carolyn is excited for the soft opening of our first ever retail store this weekend. That is exciting. That is super exciting. Combining with brick and mortar. That's exciting. All right. Well, let's so go out, get those videos up and loaded, and we're going to have a great session. We got a lot of planning going on with that, and we look forward to seeing everybody in Ponte Vedra, and we really look forward to seeing those videos. Think about it. We're developing skills as we have fun, as we submit to be part of a collaboration about leadership and advancing our skills for our betterment and the betterment of those around us, and just having fun doing it. And I can't think of a better thing to do. So today we're going to talk about a very important topic, one that's very important to me. I've been through many organizational consolidations, M&A deals and everything. And at the heart of a lot of that promise, we used to always talk about what's the promise of this acquisition? What's the promise of these organizations coming together? Was really a question of synergy. How were we better together than we were as individual parts, right? Collaboration, all the benefit, reducing duplication, having that duplication create capital to be able to reinvest and grow. This is not just talking about business consolidation, though, and synergies among two companies necessarily. Think about this as individuals, too. What are the complementary skills and values that you're looking for in your friendships? In your relationships, in those people you wrap around you to make you stronger, to lift you up when you need it, to give you counsel when you need it, maybe kick you in the tail a little bit when you need it. Where are your strengths and where are your weaknesses? Do a truly honest self-assessment. We talked about kind of look in the mirror, and be very honest with ourselves. But then go find relationships that are positive. Get the negatives out. Find people that are complementary. Complementary is such a beautiful word in my mind. In all things, relationships, business, personal, professional, complementary skills. Opposites may attract, but complements are what builds something beautiful, right? And so look for those complements, those things that are going to lift you up. Hey, Baretta, how you doing? Roll Tide. Yes, my high school mascot was the Golden Tide in high school. We'll pretend like it's Roll Tide because I know you're not talking about the Volunteers, right? But good seeing you. I love it. This could also mean good morning. All right, let's get into this a little bit. So synergy comes from the Greek word work together, right? It's a concept of cooperation. Right? We talked about, two companies, individuals, or groups coming together. And when they team up, they produce a better combined effect, right? That is greater than the individual or separate effects that they could create. Hey, John, good morning to you. Glad you're here. If you're in Florida in media, synergy gets a lot of conversations from consolidators and everything else, and sometimes it can have a little anxiety tied to it, right? So, you roll up things, you consolidate, people are looking for those duplications to fund the capital to expand those markets, but it shouldn't be viewed with anxiety, and even in those regards, because what you're looking for, again, is those complementary things that you putting the parts together create a better and more efficient outcome, and that creates capacity that allows you to compete and survive and thrive much more than you could individually. And in media and in this space, in the Florida Press Association has had a lot of topics around this. This is a very important, vital component of our sustainability and healthiness, right? And so it's about strength. It's about combination, finding those complements, and together we bring strength to that team, to that concept, to that organization, right? We've talked about that a lot in Florida. Since we're in Florida, we can talk about this. We know one good example of synergies is around a lot of the work we've done with our legislation recently around public notice. We had legislated revenue for a lot of years, but the legislators and legislature have been looking for ways to make that process less dictated and government oriented and more market oriented. And we negotiate a lot in that. So we brought conversations to collaborate to bring the power of the association, the power of all organizations together to solve that problem, along with the legislation to come up with solutions that are more current with today, and partnering with the strengths of our newspapers and bringing in partners like Column that does our roll up for the state association. There's synergies there. They brought tech to the conversation. They brought a different level of lobbying through the tech side of that to bring a different message that provided solutions for the marketplace, not just trying to hold on to the things we had. And together now, even though we've had to fight significant headwinds, our argument, our positioning on that is much stronger as the source for an answer than we would be if we each individual was still trying to fight that legislation as one organization, one individual organization versus a collective power of the association plus our business partners. I thought that was a great example of what that synergy could look like. I've already been in a conversation with one of my clients this morning on an issue related to synergy. One partner should one partner take the lead on solving a particular issue between their partnership. Now, technically, both could do it. But in the context of the spirit of a partnership, the path forward becomes much more clear, right? As does the value proposition. So in this case, one of the partners will carry a little bit more of the burden of the partnership up front, but gain significantly over the long term. So in that context, the solution became very clear, right? So what we're looking for to get collective gain here is we're looking for common ground that two parties can leverage for the greater collective good. We talked about that, a lot about consolidations, reductions, and duplication. But what are the common things that we can come together on as organizations and collectively gain, right? We're looking for how parties are complementary, right? And how they can leverage each other's strengths. This is a additive issue. We leverage the strengths of individuals, we leverage the strengths of each of the organizations, and collectively we are stronger, right? And again, we get the collective upside and gain from those synergistic partnerships. And appreciating that is where true influence comes into play, right? We've talked about this in several different aspects of leadership. The greatest test of your leadership competency is when it's absent authority to dictate things. Can you move the ball, right? And this is where synergistic activities and your ability to influence is going to be vital for your organization and, frankly, for you individually in your search for your profession to really leverage your skills and your abilities to maximize those, because you're having to inspire others for the greater collective good. And you have to be willing at times to compromise so that both parties win. This should not be a one win, one lose. This is all tide, all boats rise on a rising tide. It is in the spirit of compromise for the greater good. So it's mutual gain. This ties into several aspects of leadership, like we talked about. Truly happy for the success of others. Remember, we talked about that. It's hard sometimes to do that, but we really, when one of our colleagues wins or even a competitor has a win, we need to feel good that they did good in their space. They did. This is difficult to leverage synergistic opportunities when one side wins more than the other, right? So synergy is looking for the strength of two together to get better gain collectively, where both parties ultimately win. There may be give and take along that process of winning, but collectively they win more. In sales, this concept of synergy is frankly vital, right? This is the essence of consultative selling. One firm brings its strengths to strengthen and grow the other, and is returned with growth and sustainability, right? As it should build upon itself and then continue to bring more strength to the collective partnership over time. So somebody has a job to be done. You're bringing a solution to solve that job. Through doing that well, your reputation grows, you get referrals, your business grows, and the collective cooperation between those two firms, solving a problem, looking at the marketplace gaps, and bringing the strengths of those two organizations together, both organizations should grow. There's a big difference between that and being a vendor for somebody, right? You don't want to be a vendor. You want to be part of the solution and the collaboration that results in a win-win, right? Give and receive in fairness, right? So here's how valuable I believe in this, right? My whole business now today is set up with this tagline: strategies, synergies, and solutions for success. Now, what does an example of that look like? Well, many of you have been on and you met Andy Robertson, right? Well, he conducted a couple of these sessions for this podcast. And when we sat down and looked at what his firm does and what my firm does, we had numerous synergies between our firms. So combined, we deliver a much, good morning, Lord. We deliver a much enhanced result for our clients, right? That's what we're looking for. We're creating greater efficiency and scale, and the two together will achieve much higher levels of success than they would on their own. The result or effect of this combined strategy is called synergy. So the combination of strategies, combination of strengths is what the technical definition of synergy. So let me give you another example from my life. Remember, we talked about the cherry tree, in my grandmother's backyard, and how I used to climb that. And I learned a lot of skills, learned probably to mind my grandmother more. But I was after those, I wanted those cherries, right? I wanted to bring those in. My grandmother made great cherry pies. And I called her Nanny. But, at the end of the day, I could do a lot being a, 6-foot guy. But, when I brought a friend over and he got on my shoulders, we could get up to fruit that others couldn't reach, right? That we couldn't do individually. And we ended up getting a whole lot better result collectively, together, partnering on that and bringing our strengths. His recognition of how to leverage each other, his recognition of, hey, that fruit over there you missed is something we should get. It's kind of a silly little joke, but at the end of the day, that's the fruitful collaboration, a strategy that, that we've often deployed in business, right? So we play off of these words, but in reality, together, we were much stronger. Team concepts tie into that. Everybody gets the point. You've all worked around this for many, many years. Pop in here. Tell me as I go through this, we've got about 5 minutes. I'd like to hear some of the things you're working on right now in this space of how you're leveraging relationships, synergies, how you think about this concept. Let me learn a little from you as we go too, right? So this gives you added resource. It gives you added skills. through these stronger relationships together. And it's a common collaboration toward a common goal, right? In community as well as business, synergy is commonly called partnerships, like we talked about. Groups come together, they merge, join together to foster trust and collaboration and create collective impact. Synergy is the additional value, let me hear from somebody, additional value that is generated by creating opportunities that would not have been available to these firms operating independently. For synergy to influence value, it must influence and impact higher cash flows from existing assets. So that's cost savings, economies of scale, things like that, and higher expected growth rates, higher growth potential, and for longer periods. So in media, that's the thing we've been looking for, higher potential growth rates for longer periods. It increased our competitive advantage, right? Collectively. We won't get into the formula. I said this would drive everybody crazy more, but Synergy's formula is net present value plus premium, right? We'll talk about that another time. But the concept of synergy was really popularized in the 90s by Stephen Covey. Everybody knows about Stephen Covey and his 7 habits of highly effective people. Well, habit number 6 for him was synergize, right? And synergize simply means 2 heads are better than 1, right? Synergize is the habit to create cooperation. It's teamwork, open-mindedness, and the adventure of finding new solutions to problems. You know, Robin brings up a point, sponsorships with nonprofits and chambers to partner on events and build brand across the community is a great example of synergy. We've done a lot of work in the area of community betterment. Remember, we talked about this last week or the week before. You know, our motto was always strengthen communities and help businesses grow, and that falls right in line. Carolyn talks about our showroom and gift shop supports 10 other makers. Very good point there, too. Let's see what it says. We are all working together to help market one another, grow our networks, and learn from one another. Our space also offers the opportunity for the makers to host their own classes, therefore grow their own business, but bring eyes to others in the market at the same time. That is a great example of synergy. Nikki talks about synergy is such a fundamental piece of how we do digital marketing sales. Great. Collaboration with the execution, data, creative messaging, and relationship building. It all connects with business partners. Excellent. And then Jessica says we have partnerships with companies who are experts in what they do so we can continue to focus on what we're good at. Let that sink in. That is, in essence, everything we're talking about. When people collaborate with one another, you heard a lot about collaboration in those feedback points. They naturally bring together different insights, different ideas, increase their capability to innovate, bring new approaches, and increase opportunities to problem solve. You know, you are in a synergistic position when you end up with an idea or result that was better than what either party could have started, what either party started with. The outcome is better than where you started because of coming together. Synergy creates the chance to discover jointly solutions we're less likely to discover on our own or by ourselves. Valuing the complementary difference in people, their perceptions, point of view, skill sets is really what drives synergy. It's a valuable strategy to implement. It's not just a business strategy. It fits into your personal life, your professional leadership development as well, enabling you to do more and be more than you otherwise could be. This collaboration every Wednesday morning, sharing of these ideas is a great example of leveraging the complementary skills we as a group bring to each other that strengthens us more than we could do in isolation. And that is the power of coming together. That is what I am so encouraged by having you come each week. Stephen Covey put it this way: when mutual understanding and respect are present, the spirit of synergy inevitably starts to develop. When mutual understanding and respect are present, got to get that right. Mutual understanding and mutual respect. Start with that value set. The spirit of synergy inevitably starts to develop. Very powerful. Mark Twain, you know, he had insights, deep thinker, right? Synergy The bonus that is achieved when things work together harmoniously. Isn't that beautiful? The bonus that is achieved when things work together harmoniously. So my challenge to you today is to think about people near you or around you that you can partner with that are complementary to what you do. As a business, as a seller, as a media, think about those organizations that would benefit from a partnership with you. The strengths you bring to the strengths they possess, to the jobs that they need to get done. Go out and make something special happen today with this concept in mind. The takeaway of the day: by creating by creating engaging team synergy, you can empower a diversely talented team to work together to achieve highly impactful solutions that can improve products, processes, and yes, profits. So this week, Jesse Pitts wins the Daily Reader. Jesse, congratulations. Thanks for being with us this morning. You're going to love this book. Maxwell gives you a tip every day of the year, 365 days a year, to start your day thinking about a great leadership principle. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this today. Synergies and the ability to be better together is a powerful value. Go make the most of it and lead on. We'll see you next week.